Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today I have my co-host, Barbara. Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, hi. Hi, everybody. I'm here.
And I have the other co-host, Kelly. Are you there, Kelly?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Now, today we're doing the chakra day. The question is for who? Apparently, the lady that we're supposed to have on is crying kids as she's trying to get to bed. So sorry, supposed to be sleeping already. And I said, will you call again? Are you there? So she hasn't responded back. So I guess the question is how long should we wait before we decide whether or not I'm getting one or she's getting one?
I would say it would be safe to go to 8:15.
All right, let's go to 8:15.
All right.
It's 8:15. Now, until then, let's see what we can do until then. Now, until then, what do you do? Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do before you do a chakra day to get ready?
Okay. Well, it's a really good idea, like, no matter what kind of day I've had. Today has been a really trying one for me, but that's all right. I have to make sure that I rebalance myself. And, you know, I was really contemplating, like, do I want to take an Epsom salt bath or, you know, what do I want to do? But, you know, basically I made sure I had some nutrition and some time to just kind of sit and, like, relax and just kind of do like that and just, like, relax the shoulders and just kind of clear my head for a minute. And for me, getting grounded is basically like somebody needs to turn his notifications down. Yes.
I always thought that he was playing a game. Are those notifications?
Yeah. I think that would be somebody by the name of Jonathan.
Johnny. I bet he's a little bit preoccupied trying to get this woman to get on the phone for her chakra cleanse.
I think so. She's in a different place right now.
She just texted me. She said she doesn't think she can do it tonight.
Oh my God.
So, all right. Yeah. Well,
you're lucky.
She's trying to put the kids to bed. And they were supposed to be asleep. So I'll be the guinea pig for tonight, okay?
Okay, yeah. Sometimes, you know, putting kids to bed is kind of like herding cats. It doesn't quite happen the way it's planned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, yeah. So, you know, having 3 bearded dragons on me is my way of getting grounded and getting ready. And I think they're going to sleep. So, you know, that's a very calming energy for me, having them on me. It really helps to ground me. So any of the stresses from the day.
That's so good that you have them for that reason.
Oh, it really is, because any of the stresses from the day have completely melted. They're gone. So, no.
I love them.
Yeah.
I'm falling in love with your pets now.
Oh, thank you. And I still need to see a picture of your green bird.
Oh, you haven't seen that one yet? Okay.
Well, no. I've seen Bobo, but I haven't seen
Boba. Boba.
Yeah.
Boba and Mango. Okay, I'll send that over after the show.
Okay, thank you. And it's funny, like, at first when you told me Boba, I was thinking, okay, then you need to name the other one Fett, so it's Boba Fett from Star Wars.
Boba Fett. That's so cute. cute. It's so fun to name animals, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet Priscilla helps, right?
Oh, what was that?
Priscilla helped too, right?
Oh, yes. Priscilla is the one. Well, she gave me the choice. She's like, well, Boba and then Mango. And there was some other one besides Mango. And she let me make the final decision. But she thought up all the names.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
and Petal
really
Rose,
cool.
too, our kitty cat. Our cat, Petal Rose.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
and she was only 5 when she thought up that. She's like, let's do it opposite of Rose Petal. Let's do Petal Rose.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool when she thought like that.
Yeah, and she was
Wow.
only 5. Yeah.
Oh, well, we know she's smart, but wow, that's really cute.
And people still spell petal like it's a bicycle pedal instead of a petal of a flower. So they're not really putting 2 and 2 together that it's like part of a flower name.
Wow.
They spelled P-E-D-A-L, like a pedal of a bike.
Oh my goodness. Boy, wouldn't that be weird?
I know.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. So it's a pink bicycle. Must be a new drink.
And they're always asking, how do you spell petal? Well, you don't know how to spell rose? Petal? Okay.
Wow.
I know.
Oh my God.
I hope all of our
my.
little stories are helping Johnny to relax, because this is his lucky day that the caller can't,
Yes.
or not the caller, but our guest can't make it, so he gets to have his chakras cleansed, and he needs it out. It's been a while, hasn't it, Kelly?
Yes, it has.
Yeah, it has been a while. Yeah.
And I've never witnessed it. I've never witnessed it because you did his chakra cleansing before I came along.
That's right. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah. All right. Well, I had Draco just hunker down on my chest. And he did his little butt wiggle, so yeah, he's ready to go to sleep. So, yeah.
Cute. I had a nap today too. You know what? I'm going back to my schedule, which is every afternoon I have about a 45-minute nap. So I do it like at around 3:30, and I fall asleep so quickly. I just have to tell you guys one last thing. I think I had one of those sleep paralysis that Priscilla was talking about, but I enjoyed it. It was so weird. It was like my eyes were slit open. I could see. I felt like I was above my body, and I felt like my hands were just locked in this position, like holding a book position. And then I was hovering above my body, and I'm like, I'm going to stay here for a minute because this is like really cool. But what does that mean? Do you know, Kelly?
Oh, wow. So you could look down and see yourself?
Yeah.
You're having an out-of-body experience. You're doing astral projection.
Really? Because that's what I told her. I said, Priscilla, I just had an outer body experience. And she goes, no, that was sleep paralysis when I explained it. And I'm like, really? Tell me about that, Kelly. Oh, my gosh.
Well, sleep paralysis is more like when you're like, you're kind of like in twilight sleep and you can't move, but you're conscious enough to know that you can't move. And, you know, it can be kind of like you're half in, half out, maybe half in your body and half out. But you were doing kind of like a, you know, astral projection type thing where it's almost like when people are having a near-death experience where they're able to look down and see themselves. Well, you're having like a like one of those things where people can leave their body and astrally travel. And, you know, they can do that with, like, interdimensional, like, travel in their sleep or in an altered state of consciousness. And you can direct where you go. You can meet up with people who are also in that state. You could go and explore. Yeah, you can go and explore other places in the world or in a different dimension. So, yeah, you can meet up with other people. So it's really an exciting thing that you're able to do that. So I would do a lot of reading on that and make sure that you're able to do that safely. Some people get stuck and they aren't sure how to get back into their body. So I would just make sure that you know how to get back.
Okay. Yeah, and because I was
wouldn't that be a
saying,
scary thing if you didn't find your way back? I mean, I've never experienced that, obviously, because I'm here. But, you know, I wouldn't want to find that out, that, oh, I got lost. Great, you know?
I know. Because remember when I was saying I just wanted to stay there for a minute because it felt really cool, but I wasn't going anywhere further, and I didn't want to, like, move. So, okay, if I start doing work on that and research on that, maybe I can make something more interesting. And maybe this is because I have been doing 2 full days, not full days, but 2 days in a row of meditating, and I'm getting really good at it too. I'm able to empty my mind, and I'm getting really good at it. And I've been trying to find my spirit guides, which I tapped into one of them yesterday. So maybe it's all that work, and then I'm able to take it to this level and do this today.
Yeah, and I like that you were able to say, I just want to stay here for a minute, because you were able to control that.
Wow, yeah. That was cool. I'm so glad you know a little bit about this to encourage me to look it up and research it, because that was really cool. And then Priscilla came in, I'm like, make sure you give me my phone back so I can do the show. I always have my alarm on though, but she brought in my phone, and that I would have still been in it. She brought me my phone back to me and said, Mom, it's time for you to do your show. Yeah, and then I said, oh, my gosh, I just had an out-of-body experience, and then she's the one who thought it was sleep paralysis, but it wasn't. I don't feel like I was paralyzed. I felt like I could have come out of it at any time.
Oh, that's good. You know,
yeah, I just was sleeping. Yeah, I mean, I was half sleeping.
Yeah, you know, this is just a little theory that might not actually go anywhere, but I wonder if some of the people that are trapped in a coma are people that are having an out-of-body experience that don't know how to get back.
Oh, yeah. Which could be frustrating, or it could be enjoyable, too.
Yeah, I wonder.
Although if somebody was doing, like if somebody is doing something to your body, like giving you a bath or something mean, I mean, they've done something mean to this one woman in Arizona. This man was raping this woman who was in a coma, and she had a baby. She was in a coma for like 26 years. That's how they were able to catch him, because they tested the baby's DNA to all of the people who had worked in the hospital, and they found him. This happened before I moved. It was all over the news. How horrible that would be if that was the case. If you're in an outer body experience, which you could be, they don't know what you're feeling when you're in a coma. You know, you could totally feel the way I felt and know what's going on to your body. How horrifying would that be?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you're even observing it, but you can't get in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you're experiencing it, but you're not in it. Yeah, it's just there's a lot of things that we don't quite understand.
Yep. This is really interesting stuff, though. Just make sure you always protect me, you guys. God forbid, if I'm ever in a coma, okay, please just don't let anybody do anything to me, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, same with me, please. Yeah. I don't want to be extended on them. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's good to know. Things like this, we have to go over these things.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to look up that stuff, and then I'll report back to you guys about it. But now it is Johnny's turn.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. All right. Are you ready, Johnny?
Ready. What do you need from me? Just usual? Okay, good. I'm ready.
Yep. You're laying down and relax.
Laying down the stomach.
On your stomach? Boy, that doesn't sound comfortable to me, but is that comfortable to you?
I'm laying down. I'm laying down, and now I got my eyes closed. I lay down on my side, and I got my eyes closed.
Okay. All right. So, it's been a while since I've done one of these. I feel like I'm about to put on music and do a guided meditation, but that's obviously not what we're doing. So, I will start explaining things for people that are listening and may not be familiar with what we're doing, because I can't assume that everybody's been listening since the beginning of our shows. I know that you know what we're doing, but they may not know. So, each of us has 7 main chakras, and the chakras are energy centers that are basically in a line.
Do you need a
starting,
picture, by the way?
I know that you sent me one like a week ago or so. Let me see. Was that a text? Seems like it was. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I got that one. Yeah. We'll just use that one. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So basically they run from about the place that if you're sitting, that area to the top of your head, the 7 of them. And the root is the very first one, and it's associated with the color of red. And it's basically, these chakras are like wheels of energy that correspond with different bodily functions, different organ systems, and it's basically the Holy Spirit in your body. It's basically your soul. So it's like the mind-body-spirit connection, because it's also, it has a connection with certain thought processes and emotions as well. So the root chakra is the first one. It's located at the base of the spine, and it provides the foundation on which we build our life, representing safety, security, and stability. Imbalanced attributes would be scattered energies, anxiety, and fear. And it's our most primal and important energy center. It's our instinct for survival and safety. And when we say that we're grounded, it's with this chakra, and it's of the earth. And so what I do to begin is I rub my hands together vigorously. And if people want to follow along and do this, that's fine. It's just what I do. And I start to feel that warm, tingly feeling in my hands, in the palms. Then I bring them out about, my hands about shoulder width apart, and I start to bring them together slowly until about 4 inches, 4 or 5 inches apart, they start to feel some resistance. and I slightly cup them, and it forms an energy ball. Now, you might try doing this a few times if you don't feel it at first, but I feel it right away because I'm sensitive to energy. But some people are and some people are not, and that's okay. But it's just what I do to get started, to get myself focused with it in my hands. And it also activates. You have chakras in your hands. You have them in the palms. You have them in your fingertips. And to confirm what I feel, I have a little stone on a string, and I'm cleansing it by just running my fingers down, just kind of ushering any residual energy into the ground where it's safely absorbed into the earth. And I'm also concentrating on Johnny's face from his photographs. They say that the eyes are the window to the soul. So I concentrate on that, and I concentrate on how I feel that his root chakra is, the energy unit. Bless you.
Sorry.
So I'm going to concentrate on that now. And this should either move back and forth, front to back, or make a circle. And starting to make a circle. It's making a big sweeping circle that's turning on its side. And it was making, instead of looking like a helicopter propeller, it was making it look like a airplane propeller. And, okay, yeah, it's doing it again. Okay. What's weird with yours, and I've never seen this before, Johnny, is it was going clockwise, and then it stopped, and then it went counterclockwise, and then it went clockwise again, and now it's going back and forth, like side to side.
Okay.
I have honestly never seen this before.
Yeah, so there's a block, right?
Well, usually when it goes, let me see, when it goes counterclockwise, it's taking something out. When it's going clockwise, it's trying to put something in, and now it's just going back and forth. So let me go in there and see what I'm finding, because that is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like that. So let me see what happens. I'm rubbing my hands together. I'm going to see what happens when I go in there and what I can find. Because I've honestly never encountered anything like that. Have you been encountering a lot of anxiety and nervous energy lately?
Encountering. I'll be honest with you. A
What?
lot of it has to do with. I'll be honest with you. A lot of it has to do with like having high standards with the show and doing everything right. But I wouldn't say nervous energy. I would say more
Like nervous, excited, like.
Well, there's a high standard. it's when the standards go up, because people are saying, how far we're going to go and everything, that the standards, the standards going higher can make you very nervous. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. 'Cause I feel like you're getting swept up higher and higher and higher in this excitement, like a wave. But then your energies are kind of like getting nervous, excited. But then it's sort of like you're scattered with your ideas. Like sometimes you're grasping for ideas to make it more exciting, like to get noticed. But sometimes when you're doing that, you're you're getting unfocused. Like you're almost like bouncing off the walls with ideas, and you're kind of losing sight of, staying focused.
Yes.
Does that sound right?
Yeah. Like, why was the other day I was wanting to make a bunch of groups. Remember that? And then you said, don't do that.
Yeah, because that'll scatter the energy too much, and then that's trying to do too much, and then it'll just kind of collapse on itself.
I understand.
Yeah. See, I'm feeling the excitement, like it's almost being caught up in a whirlwind that's spiraling upward, but it's like a bunch of unfocused energy that's, like, oh boy, we're going to do this, oh boy, what can we do next to make this more, what can we do, and it's like, okay, just keep doing what we're doing, we're okay, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's just kind of like stay the course kind of a thing. Okay. Yeah. Now, wow. Okay. As long as you stay focused and stay the course that we're on, and keep up, then now I'm seeing it taking off like crazy in the right direction. That's what I'm seeing, because it was just going off, like trying to like buckshot. Buckshot will go in, scattered instead of just, firing a bullet, if you know what I mean. So let's see. The next one is associated with the color of orange. It's the sacral, the second chakra, and it's located below the belly button and above the bikini line. It represents creative and sexual energies. Imbalanced attributes would be lack of repressed creativity, sexual dysfunction, withheld intimacy, and emotional isolation. And it's the emotional body, sensuality, and creativity. And let's see what's going on there. Okay, this one is doing something interesting too. This one is doing kind of like a darting motion, where it's kind of like darting from one side to the other and kind of making like diagonal darts going across, but then it rotates, so it's kind of like doing like a part rotation. So it's like darting diagonally, and then it'll dart like straight across, and then doing another diagonal, and then straight across, doing like a partial rotation clockwise kind of a thing. And then it slowly starts trying to straighten out and do a slow circle. So it's trying to correct itself, but it's taking a long time. So let's see what's going on when I go into there.
Okay.
Okay, I'm finding, wow, ooh, that gave me some chills. Okay. I'm finding there's still a lot of deep emotional pain with feeling isolation, with yearning for intimacy, the fantasy of wanting a romantic partner,
Mhm.
the fantasy of what you thought you had with the person. But I'm not feeling like it's stifling your creativity. It's just sometimes that can blind you to other opportunities.
Mhm.
Or the being open to other opportunities. Because sometimes things in the future might happen that if you're stuck on things happening a certain way, you won't be able to see them as an opportunity if they reveal themselves in a way that you're not used to.
Mhm.
But, just be open for things that that happen naturally. But really, focus more on the show and helping people and being happy and, living the most fulfilled life that you can, and that person will end up walking into it and letting it be known without a doubt that they're interested. And it'll basically, be when you're least expecting it kind of a thing, because you'll be so busy with the show and everything else happening, you won't even think about having a person in your life by that time. So, don't think about it and just keep yourself busy. Let's see. Think about all the wonderful things that you do have that a lot of people don't.
Mhm.
And I'm being shown that it will all come together and you will be wildly happy because it is going crazy in the sideways circle. It just takes time. So, the next one is associated with yellow, and it's the solar plexus. It's the third chakra, and it's located below the chest. It represents self-esteem, pleasure, willpower, and personal responsibility. Imbalanced attributes would be low self-esteem, control issues, manipulative tendencies, and misuse of power. And personal power, self-esteem, warrior energy, power of transformation is from here too. Let's see where you are. Okay, this one is your best one so far. It's a nice sweeping circle. It's big. It's on a slight tilt. So there is room for improvement, but it's your strongest one yet. So I'm thinking you are in the middle of a transformation right now. And you do have that strong warrior energy, where if you're in the middle of something, you don't give up. Even if it looks like you may not win it, You don't just lay down and die. You power through it. Even if nobody thinks that you're going to win it, and the stakes are high, you will win anyway. So let's see what happens when I go in this one. You are very resilient. You can be very stubborn in a good way. You have a lot of stick-to-itness, and that can serve you well. And sometimes you don't understand things and you have to ask for clarification, and that's okay. That's more than okay. Because that's how you grow. And you are transforming because of all these new situations. Because of all the new things you're learning. And you're learning so much just in the interactions with all the new people and new situations and all the new social things that you've picked up on, or the ones that you haven't, but then you've gotten guidance for, and just all of the different topics that we've covered on and off the show. And, you've had a lot of tremendous personal growth in this last year. And then you're continuing to have that. And as you do that, you're preparing yourself for even more personal growth and laying the foundation for a lot of success. Like for your personal life, for the show, laying a great foundation for having a future partner in your life. So all these, growing pains and some of the struggles that you've been through are all for making a better future, where some things will become a lot easier and a lot more understandable. Where there have been some confusing times, some things will start making more sense. Because it'll start looking like some patterns where, I've seen that before. And there'll still be some new situations, but, that things will start to make sense and click together. And let's see how this goes now. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's doing that, plane propeller thing now. So, yeah, that's definitely going to be taking off in the right direction. So, let's see. So, for the next one is the heart chakra, and that's associated with the color of green. And that's located in the center of the chest, and it represents love, self-love, and governs our relationship. Imbalance attributes would be depression, difficulty in relationships, and lack of self-discipline. That is the opening of feelings, compassion, capacity to love, and no conflict. Let's see where we are with that one. Okay, that one right away goes back and forth. So, that one is definitely off. So let's see what happens when we go into that one. Wow, this one is heavy. This one's like trying to lift a bowling ball. Oh, this is a boulder.
That bad?
This is bad. This is like trying to lift a boulder.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All right, let me try this. How do you feel right now?
Relaxed.
Okay, do you feel any lighter?
Maybe a little. Yeah.
Okay, because I think I got rid of a good chunk of it. Let me see. Because man, it was too heavy for me to lift it. So basically, I energetically blew it to a bunch of little pieces and blew it away. And then I sensed that there was still some left in there. So it was like I was feeling these heavy chains. And then I lifted what was there, and then I energetically blew it away, and then, like, physically, like, took my breath and blew it. And,
Has that ever happened to you before?
yeah, but it's rare that it's that heavy, but, God, man, I'm going to probably have to soak in some salts after this because it feels like it's heavy on my chest right now.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get rid of it. Okay, that helps. Oh, okay. All right, let's see here. Let me see what's going on here when I go to use this. Okay, it's not 100% fixed yet because it's doing a fairly decent, like, helicopter propeller type thing, but it's not where I'd like it to be yet. So let me go back in there. Right. Yeah, it's not there yet. Okay, that's a lot better. Okay, how do you feel right now?
Good.
Good. Okay. Then we'll go on to the throat one, which is associated with turquoise, again, the 5th chakra. That's located at the center of the neck, and it represents the ability to speak and communicate clearly and effectively. Imbalanced attributes would be shyness, being withdrawn, arrogance, and increased anxiety. And that's also the ability to manifest and express your truth in the world. So let's see where you are with that one. Well, you have no problem with saying what's on your mind, because that one's going like crazy, like an airplane propeller. So, we didn't think there was any problem there anyway. The next one is the third eye, the 6th chakra, and that's kind of like an indigo color. It's located in the center of the forehead between the eyebrows. It represents intuition, foresight, and is driven by openness and imagination. Imbalanced attributes would be lack of direction and lack of clarity. And it's patterns of learning and memory skill sets. Let's see where you are on this one. Okay, this one's going like nuts for like an airplane propeller, so I don't think there's anything going on there that's not good. And let's see. The last one is the 7th one, and that's the crown, the 7th chakra. It's like a reddish purple, and it's located at the top of the head. It represents states of higher consciousness and divine connection. Imbalanced attributes would be cynicism, disregarding what is sacred, closed-mindedness, and disconnection with spirit. It access to higher states of consciousness, open to what is beyond understanding. It's also our direct connection with God and the universe and source. So if you can think of the root being connection to being grounded in earth, and that's the first one. The crown is connection to God, universe, and other states of consciousness. So let's see where you are on this one. Well, this is going like a airplane propeller like crazy, so there's no issue there. So what I'm going to do is go through them quickly to make sure nothing like skipped around, because they can, as you're working with one, if something's imbalanced, it can hop to a different one to, if it was a negative energy, to try to hang on somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. The root, okay, that one is like better than fine. That one's doing like the airplane propeller. Sacral, same thing. Solar plexus, same thing. Heart, same thing. Throat, same thing. Third eye, same thing. And crown, same thing. So how do you feel?
I mean, it's different. Whenever I go through these things, I always I just let's see what happens. Like the first time I ever had it done, I didn't know what to expect. I just sat back and let whatever happens, happens. I mean, it's basically what I did.
Yeah.
But
do you feel like you have any blockages, Bree?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I've been having things that I've been worried about lately, because there's a lot of things that you kind of, you want to be good for everybody. You want to do good things for everyone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool, though, that she saw something happen that she's never seen before. I like to experience that and listen to these different experiences. It's really quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Which thing was that?
The very first one, or at the 2nd chakra, when you said, I've never seen this happen before, and it was going clockwise and counterclockwise, then clockwise again, and then it swang back and forth.
Yeah, that was bizarre. Yeah. Yeah.
But I was paying attention to it, but then again, I can't help it, like being so preoccupied a little bit with my outer body experience, and I'm just thinking, whoa, being in touch like this. When you were telling Johnny that, it will be able to grasp more of this, all these things that are right here in front of him. He's going to be able to be open to them and grasp them more in the near future. That's really great. That's going to be wonderful for him. But I really believe that just being around it is helping me to have these experiences. And it doesn't take much. It's not really like, I've worked really, really, really hard to get to this point. It's just like being open, basically. Just open yourself up to it, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah.
It's really quite
kind of,
easy if you just
cool.
open yourself. Just get open to it, and it's easy. And trying to get away from the stress and then being worried and stuff, that can prolong it from happening too, right, Kelly?
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of hard, when life is happening, but then it's like you kind of gotta, have a certain point where you just kind of let it, figure that, well, things are going to happen the way they're supposed to, and just let it kind of wash over and away from you, and just kind of, have you time to heal and do these things.
What do you think, Kelly, if you didn't have this in your life, with all of the things that go on in our daily lives, how would you feel? Can you imagine not having all of this to turn to?
Oh, I would be so lost, I think.
Yeah.
I think I would be so lost.
Me too.
What do you mean by lost? What do you mean by lost?
But, well, I mean, yes, there's conventional Bible things and church things, and it's uplifting, but then that doesn't explain a lot of these things. But yes, I wholeheartedly believe that they can go hand in hand with each other too. They're just different ways of looking at it and explaining. But they honestly, it's like, I think the two, religion and spirituality are just the same thing looked at slightly differently to me, depending, on how, it depends on how you look at it, really. I think, they can be intertwined.
I do too.
But it's, to me, having both, it's more of a fuller understanding for me,
Yes. And when you have the gift like you do, it could be frustrating to not have that extra understanding.
Yeah, because then it's like you feel like you're by yourself, and you feel odd, where is this coming from? And then the Bible does talk about having the gift, and, then people are like, well, you should use different terminology than how you're talking about that. And it's like, okay, well, maybe I should be,
It's funny.
Have they really said that to you?
Yeah, there's people that say, well, you're not using the correct vernacular if you're going to be addressing people at church. Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
I was going to say something. It's sort of funny. I've asked myself a lot of times, why do I keep repeating the stories about the first time that you've been on the air? And I think it's because I honestly had no idea about the effect that it had on you. I mean, and I also would think if I could do it over again, would I have said it differently? Probably, because, it's like when you do something nice for a friend, you want to make sure that you do it the right way. And it's like, I didn't think of just something simple like, hey, would you like to come on a show do chakras? That was that kind of blew you away. I didn't realize that it really blew you away. I thought it was just, a simple, a time to spend an evening or something. I didn't realize that you were sitting around thinking about, that you saw it as something more greater than it was. Or actually, what I want to say is you saw it as something very great. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
Well, I mean, some people, they see it just as a podcast. They see it as just a bunch of that is just a guy who has an account. And I think one of the things that really stuck out with you, and this is true with Barb too, is that you were the first person to come along and say, I want to help, but I don't want to take over. You were like, you kept saying, I don't want to step on your toes. Not going back tomorrow, but I don't want to step on your toes. Whereas usually, people are going to be like, can I get back tomorrow and I'll help you out? I'll probably want to take you over, but I want to come back tomorrow. You were like, I don't want to take over, I just want to help out. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Why does that sound like you're in a wind tunnel?
I have no idea.
It's me. I'm very sorry. I have a nail appointment at 6:15. I was heading there and I didn't roll up my I didn't roll up my window. I could have blamed Johnny, but I didn't want to.
Boy, that's a slow mover.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh. But I'm here now, so it's quiet now. Oh my God. Oh, that's so funny. Well, I was going to say something about how when Johnny does repeat the stories, I always think of it like this. It's new for that show, and there might be somebody listening that's new that never has heard this story, so I think it's great that he repeats his story.
Yeah.
I mean, does it bother, be honest, does it bother you that I repeat the story?
No.
Who said, you know what, Kelly, every time you repeat the story, she acts like that's the first time she heard it, so I didn't think that it would bother her. You know what I mean? She's a very good host.
I guess the thing is, I think what it is that it's Asperger's, and it's the repeating story, and I think of myself, I'm like thinking, am I doing this too much? I really don't want it to, I don't want, like you two on the other end of the photo, here he goes again, he's talking about the first time that Kelly was on the show, and the first time that she calls her the co-host, it's...
No,
but it's
I never do.
Because I just can't, I'm so surprised at your reaction. I did not think that you would react like that,
Aw. Yeah. I wouldn't change
it's
a thing.
Special. It's a special story, and it should be repeated all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Someday
never bothers me.
Now, I will say that
I
on your anniversary show that you get a chance to tell the story in your own words. Kind of like how you remember it from the for the very first time I asked you on to you want to do that?
I have a terrible memory, so not really.
Well, we'll ask you questions, and then it will come back to you.
Oh, that's better.
Like,
okay.
Well, like for instance, like the first day I asked you to be the co-host, or asked you to come on to a chakra day. Were you spending all day thinking about it?
Off and on all day, I was like, oh God. Am I? I hope I can do this. I don't want to sound like a dork. Yeah.
Okay, and then the second day. This is the second day. Let me tell you what you remember. Let me see. You have a pretty good memory. Tell me what you remember about the second chakra day. Remember, you weren't co-host yet.
I was like, well, I didn't do badly the first time. I think I can do this. So, yeah, let's see how this goes. I wasn't quite as nervous.
And what were you thinking on the day that you were going to talk to the medium?
Oh boy, I get to talk to the medium. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was a dork.
No, you weren't a dork. You were fine. And then
I know, but inside my head I was a dork.
Okay, so then I introduced you as your co-host. Okay, after the show, do you remember how hard it was to call me?
Yes.
Why was it hard?
Oh gosh, because I was afraid to ask about it because I was afraid to get turned down.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't
then,
want to seem needy.
well, let's see. That's the whole. Which Barbara, this is what you both did. That's so beautiful. I mean, you sort of. Neither one of you wanted to take over. You wanted to help. You were basically. I mean, you were saying, "Oh, I don't want to seem needy." You know, you're the only one, Kelly, that said that went that approach. You know that you and Barbara were the only two that went that approach. That went there and said, you know, yeah, you were the only two that said, listen, I don't want to step on your toes. You know, was Barbara's. This is what Kelly said to me. Was I don't want to step on your toes. You're the only. I mean, it's like everybody else was like, okay, you know, I'll go on and we'll make millions and I'll run everything. You know. And
yeah, they were like opportunists.
Yeah, and so you know, and you know, the thing is that, you know, I will tell you this. When I said you were co-host, I was thinking in the back of my mind, she's earned it. She's earned it. She's worked her butt off to help me out, and she's earned it. And so let me ask you this. I mean, how did you feel after we talked on the phone?
I felt relieved. And I felt exhilarated.
Well, see now, Barbara, does she have a bad memory?
No, she has a great memory.
Okay, now. Okay, let's talk about the next day, the Amnera show. Now, what do you remember about that?
You didn't think that I was going to like it because it was a lot of financial stuff, but I loved it.
Okay. And how did it feel the first time I said to you, Kelly, you were worried about someone pushing you out? And I won't say the name of the person, but I was really worried because you were always stressed out. And I told you I didn't like the idea that you were stressed out because I didn't bring you on here to be stressed out. And I called you up and I talked to you after I said to you I wanted the show to be a 50-50 deal. What did you say? What did you think after that phone call?
Oh my gosh. I thought I was going to have to be peeled off the ceiling because I was like, wow, this is great. Wow. I was not
How
expecting
surprised
that.
were you?
I was very surprised. Very.
Now, why were you surprised? I mean, did you honestly think that I was going to go with that other person who never showed up and wanted to take over the show and everything? I mean, you really thought that I was going to go for that?
I didn't know because the person was definitely going, at all angles to try to, say all the reasons why you should go with that person. So I thought, well, what do I have to offer?
Oh. Well, you had a lot to offer. I mean, but not only that, between you and her, I mean, it was obvious that you loved it. You showed up every day. You were like, you advertised the shows. You loved it. You had a real love of doing it. And I was saying this to Barbara the other day, that there's a lot of people that are like this, that they get sick, they don't want to do the show. They get stressed out, they don't want to do the show. When you get sick, you want to do the show because it makes you feel better, usually. It's usually an energizing thing for you. Haven't you noticed that? I mean, it's like other people, it's like, I'm depressed. I don't want to do the show. You like, I'm depressed. Let's do it, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's true.
And how did it feel the first time that you knew that Barbara was going to be co-host?
I was excited, a little nervous, but I was excited for the most part because I was part of the decision that, hey, I think she'd be a great fit because she's as excited about this as I am. You know, this whole idea of the show. You
All
know,
right, let
the
me
whole
ask you this.
excitement about learning.
Let me ask you this. This is another fun part. Karen Page.
And your question?
Well, I mean, how did it feel when you knew that this lady was going to be a part of the show?
We clicked right away, so I was hoping she would be. But I didn't know that she would be, but, you know, I figured she'd be on, you know.
Did you ever have any shows where you got emotional afterwards?
Yes.
Which ones?
A lot.
Which ones of the a lot?
All of them, but I don't like bawl after them all, but
I know the Joan Carroll one, you said you got emotional, right?
yeah.
What about Joseph Labruto?
Yeah.
Victoria Bearden?
Yeah.
Oh boy, we've been going Barbara Walters on you. Haley Elise,
Yeah.
Karen Page.
Well, yeah.
Really? Karen Page usually leaves you laughing your head off. You've been emotional with having Karen Page on?
Yeah, like the first time.
I went on the first time. I went back and I listened to the first time that you met Karen, and that was a unique show. You know why? Usually when we have a psychic on, this is before Barbara was on, and Barbara, you still there?
Yes, I am. I'm in a massage chair right now, so I'm thoroughly enjoying your guys' conversation.
Oh, okay. You're getting a massage, or are you getting a massage in a massage chair?
I sat down in a massage chair. Yes, I love the massage, and it's like one of those nice chairs. So it's good.
Well, see, let me tell you what I remember. I went back and I listened to the first Karen. I listened to the first Karen Page one that you were on, and I listened to it when I was uploading the videos, and I don't know if you remember this or not, but usually the way it would work in the beginning is that I would say, oh yes, my name is Jonathan, I'm here to host our show, Life Happiness. Of course I said mine in the beginning, and then I would introduce you as a co-host, I would introduce the guest, and then I would say, okay, Kelly, go at it. Talk to her, But what happened that night was Sandy was on, and Sandy had been feeling really depressed. So we kind of left from tradition, and we let Sandy go first. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
And I believe, if memory serves me right, you were talking about having children, and Karen Tate says, well, why do you feel like you have to have children? And this is another surprise to me. You talked about whether or not you would want to have kids based on the show. Because I'm thinking to myself, Kelly must really be into taking the show seriously if she's organizing her life regarding whether or not you'd have kids. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
To the show, and I was like, okay, that's somebody who's pretty. That's somebody who loves the show. You know? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
You mean she loves the show so much that she's so open with her personal life? Is that what you mean?
No, I mean somebody that loves the show so much that they are planning their lives as far as having kids with regards to the show. You know, it's like that was amazing to me. I've never heard of. I mean, it's like her saying, it's like all of a sudden, because kids are a big deal. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Or, how you are with, like, Priscilla. I mean, Priscilla was a big deal in your life. I don't even have to say that. And she's planning on whether or not she wants to have kids because she's thinking, well, it would make it hard to do with the show and all. I'm thinking, wow, You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand that. Well, when you're doing something every single day, too, it's like it is a part of your life. It just starts to kind of mesh in as one thing.
I guess.
I mean, look at the people who are doing television shows every morning. They talk about their kids and their daily life and their husbands. If you watch morning shows, they're all doing it as well.
Yeah, I just sort of wish that, that when I was saying these things to Kelly, that I had more of a radar for picking up on how much she wanted it. I mean, I picked up on it, but not as much as I would have liked. Because I'm thinking to myself, it's like, my goodness, I mean, then I woke up. I mean, it took me some time. I mean, I wish I had picked up earlier. Listen, this lady loves it so much that I mean, you'll never find anybody that loves it. Well, I mean, Barbara, you'll never find anybody that loves it as much as Kelly and Barbara does, and it's just amazing to me. So that's something I really appreciate for both of you.
Oh,
thank you so much. We appreciate you too.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're about out of time. But thank you for doing my chakras today.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad it helped.
Okay.
Let
All right.
us know how you feel tomorrow.
And, what?
Let us know how you feel tomorrow.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, wait a minute. Wait a second.
Wait a
Let me do
minute.
something real quick here. Okay. Okay. This is a special announcement. Tomorrow will be Barbara's 100th show. Okay?
Oh.
So I wanted to make that
amazing.
announcement before we we laughed. I know how important, how sentimental Barbara is, and it's important to pay attention to. She loves it when you. And our special guest will be Audra Lynn, which is a good friend of Barbara's. So I want to thank Barbara for doing all this work and willing to do 100 shows. I hope she'll do more. And you really mean a lot to us, Barbara. You really do.
Oh, thank you so much. You guys mean so much to me. I have just enjoyed this journey so much, and I look forward to so many more shows and growing with you guys. Yes, I could never ask for anything more. You two are, I love your personalities. I love everything about it. I love Karen, and I've just gosh, I feel like I must have done something right to have this wonderful thing happen to me. I really feel like it's a blessing, really. It really is a blessing. So thanks, you guys. And I look forward to celebrating tomorrow.
Yeah.
We look forward to celebrating with you tomorrow. Okay? So thanks, everybody.
Thanks, you guys. Have a great night. Talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you.